Let me then now move to Stefan. So, your industry probably would have been the most impacted, being someone from the events and MICE, the impact must have been significant. Perhaps you can share with us over the course of this past year, what did you have to do to pivot your business and also to remain resilient amidst this storm?
All right. So thank you very much, firstly, to the first three speakers. I think their input has been very valuable. And basically, I don't have a lot of content to add already because they basically spoke about a lot of things I want to talk about too. But let me quickly summarize and let me deliver really the bad news guy. I'm the bad news guy. So thank you for the question. The effects of COVID really has affected many sectors, and possibly one of the most impacted factor would be the MICE industry. Just for anyone who are not in the industry, MICE stands for meetings, incentives, conferencing, and exhibitions. So what we really do is we rely on international travelers, right, to attend the event. But without international travel, with the situation these days, there are no events. And it was even more evident during the circuit breaker, where Singapore went into a lockdown. So as an event organizer, I told myself at the start of the pandemic, about March 2020, that Singapore would be out of the pandemic by July. I was telling myself that. After all, right, Singapore as a whole relies a lot on tourism. We got national carrier, we have a lot of attractions, and international tourism accounts for 4.1% of Singapore's GDP back in 2017. So like what we will say locally, die sure okay one. But unfortunately, just like Justin Bieber's song, it was a case of never say never. So the first thing that I did was to react fast. React fast. So when events are not happening, right? So I quickly identified the sources of income that is possible in the next coming months, if nothing changes. So no physical events are permissible. Let's do virtual and let's do it really well. So I very quickly gathered resources and started to reach out to potential clients very quickly. And within a week, all our proposals were out. And the second thing is, I think is to ask for help when you can. So because we are all deep in the trenches, and it is a time to try and help one another, even if they are competition. Some would say that the events industry is a rather cutthroat place to be. But if we choose to align with the right people, you will find that there are these supportive groups who are willing to share about what they know. So we share our experiences, we refine, we improve, and we try to execute the next event better. Lastly, my last point would be, as event organizers, we don't listen very well. So I think that my third point would be to listen. Because event organizers, right, we tend to think that we know it all when it comes to event planning. So after all, right, isn't this what our clients pays us for? But by keeping our ears close to the ground and we listen to what our clients' pain points are and coming up with attainable suggestions. This allows a deeper trust between the client and us. And I think this will really pay off if you see this one-time client come back to you as a return customer, and you know that your efforts are paying off because they're coming back for the second time. Isn't this what we all want? So I think this is a very quick three-pointer sum up of how I'll do this.
Thanks very much, Stefan. If you just hold on, I will get back to you for a second round of questions. But just before that, I think, if I may just quickly pick up a couple of points that he shared. One, as entrepreneurs, let's not be afraid to ask for help. Yeah. But I like what you said, because, there will always be groups, individuals, or communities where there is that synergy in alignment and where you can help each other. Yeah. And I think your point on listening, I would say it would apply to everyone, all our participants that are here, whether you are in policy making, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are in academia. It is a skill. Yeah, it is a skill. And it is also a mindset, because you have to switch and to tell yourself, okay, I am wanting to listen so that I can glean, I can learn, and then I can move on. Yeah. So let's move, I think all our speakers have shared about what has happened, what are their observations. I want to now look at success, to succeed, right? Because really all of us are hoping for post-pandemic recovery, economic rebound. So Stefan, for you, what do you think would be the top 3 mindsets and skills that entrepreneurs and those in this ecosystem, they need to embrace in a post-pandemic world?
Okay, let me start by saying this, that to set this context, I may not be the best person to ask about mindsets. I think Raffaele and Jeff and Sophea, they have a lot more credentials than me, but perhaps I can offer an alternative angle. The first alternative mindset that I have also will relate to my first point for my earlier part is to be ready to help. So sometimes I feel that the best way to grow, but you cannot quantify it by monetary gains. If someone needs your help, be it connecting with a vendor, be it dispensing advice, I would say you can provide those resources to the best of your abilities. By doing so, you might just help that someone in need. You might just help them to tide over a very difficult time, and you will never know when the favor will be returned, or in the worst case, when you need that favor, right? Not to say that you really want them the favor to be returned. The second thing, alternative mindset that I present today is it pertains to the concept of an entrepreneur. Some would akin an entrepreneur like Elon Musk, right? Up there, tireless, doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to sleep, look great on camera, and generally unaffected by the storm, whatever it may come. But the truth be told is we as entrepreneurs are very, very human. So when there is a time for you need to connect with how you're feeling at a particular moment, don't dispense that easily. Don't think that, oh, it's not important. Try to connect with that, because I think that is very important to mental health. So allow yourself to feel and to be human. My last point is one of my favorite mantras, and also very much like Sophea, this is my first time being on a panel. But I would say that my third point is to say yes when opportunity comes, and then you think about how to do it later. So opportunities don't come that easily, particularly in a very crowded marketplace, right? So when they do present themselves and they do come, say yes first, and then you can try to Google, you try to YouTube how to do it later. But when you get those opportunities, I say you grab it. So that's just my very quick 3 points.
Thanks very much, Stefan, for saying yes and then thinking about it later.